Praise that on the strength of your vouching for the INEC chairman, because I mean that suggests that the buck stops at INEC's table when it comes to security. So that's what we say. Can we be rest assured that all will be well with security in that election?
Inshallah, things will be well. I think that the fears being expressed are a little bit over the top. There is a lot of tension and uncertainty, to be very sure. But, you know, the peace committee got a lot of politicians together to sign an agreement. And for sure, we in the ADC, our symbol is the handshake. We will never, and I want you to watch this space, we will never use violence. We will never advocate the use of violence. Directly or indirectly, we shall never encourage anyone to use violence. We are Democrats, and we will never subscribe to the ideology of violence.
What did people then tell you?
I cannot say that others will not do that.
So what if some tell you that
for their conscience?
What if some think that from the look of things, your party may not be able to stand the heat in the kitchen? And then look, what makes you or gives you an impression? Why do you refer to yourself and your party as the third force? Because they will ask you, do you have the structure? Those who are in certain positions, like the Senate, the State House of Assembly, to build and leverage on to win elections, because you need that to get the kind of result you want at the presidential level.
Well, I can ask you very easily, what structures did Emmanuel Macron have when he became president of France? He had no godfather, he had no money. In fact, he didn't even have a name or a standing among the gladiators. The great French people needed a change. They were desperate for a change, and they found someone who could give them that hope. We don't have a godfather. God is our godfather. We have not defrauded this country where we've stashed away money, billions that we can bribe people. We don't have that. But I know we are the best hope of Nigeria. We are the best hope, and I believe and I know that the Nigerian people, especially the teeming youths, and the women and the disabled that are at the core of our campaign, they will rise up and be counted so that together we can salvage this country. We have the people. We may not have brick and mortar everywhere.
I believe very strongly too that a lot of people will tend to agree with you and perhaps listen to your summons and maybe go with your party as you decide to be the president, decide to be the president of this country. But let me correct one impression. We're not running a military dictatorship in the country. It's a democracy. So those parts of your submissions where you talk about tyranny and all of that, let's just skip it. But that's on the one hand. That's on the one hand. But
it is because you cannot.
You have also talked about what you do. You have also talked about what you do when you become president in the Northeast to quell the activities of Boko Haram. But let's talk about the economy. When you become president,
yes,
what do you think the economy needs to get us on the right path to growth?
This is my passion. This is my greatest passion, and this is the #1 thing on the agenda apart from security. This country needs a massive infusion of capital for investments. We need to design very carefully a model that will bring millions and millions, as over 20 million of our young people, back into the job space. We are going to create a framework in which there will be massive infusion of capital from within and from outside this country. But we know we cannot do it without stability. We are going to build new high-speed trains linking every corner of this country, the big cities, the major cities. And we are going to do it through a mix of contracts and public works, which is what is not being done here. It has capacity to generate 10 million jobs, for this economy. We have what it takes. We have the knowledge, by God's grace. We have the passion. We have the determination to build a $1 trillion economy in the next 5 years. It is doable. We have the partnerships. We have the international networks to make it happen. And we will make it happen.
What would be your plan or approach to diversifying such that oil will not be the mainstay? I know we talk a lot about agriculture. Will that be your focus? And how would you approach it?
People talk about agriculture quite ignorantly. We can't go back to the agriculture of the hoe and all that. We need an agrarian revolution anchored on modern, state-of-the-art agribusiness to enhance rural productivity by building enough roads, by putting enough inputs of pesticides, insecticides, affordable credit, and implements and technical equipment and machinery for the rural sector. We need to build those roads and rural energy systems that will help to preserve crops once produced, harvests, and to be able to get them to local as well as international markets. This is what we will do for agribusiness. We will focus not only on the peasant farmer, because the green revolution in Asia was anchored on the small peasant farmer, but of course we shall also create space for big business.
That's how far we can go.
Big modern.
Dr. Melaifa, we'll have to anchor at that point. We appreciate your comment on the program this morning. Dr. Obadiah Melaifa is the presidential candidate of ADC and the former deputy governor of the CBN. We wish you all the best. All right, so we're back in a moment. Join us again.